Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group. I'm going to get started with today's live stream and before market close video market update, and we'll do some ticker requests. If anybody has any ticker requests, make sure to place them inside the thread in Slack with the ticker and the exchange. Also got a new filter for my mic. Let me know how the mic is coming in today, how the sound is. I was getting some complaints that I was getting some popping noises. Let me know how this filter is working now, though, and we'll get started here in about 30 seconds. All right, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group. It's Wednesday, May 18th. Hope you're well, and going to do a quick market overview, check in. Just got back from the gym and the sauna, so it's been a little while since I checked into the market, but we'll go through this together, and we'll get up to speed on what to expect into the end of the day here. We got about 28 minutes left in the end of the day. Just as a reminder, if anybody has any ticker requests, I know there's been a few people joining the community. Generally, every day, Monday through Friday, I go live about 30 minutes before the market close, and I send out a blast usually about 45 minutes before, and then you just place inside here, just like Rashid did here, fvi.to. Give me the ticker and the exchange. If it's a crypto, let me know, which exchange, because there is quite a few different crypto exchanges. But for the most part, crypto is usually all the same, but there is some confusion sometimes with regards to tickers. So just make sure to give me the exchange and the ticker. I'd appreciate that. Again, I did get a new mic, a new filter, for my mic, and I was having some complaints that I was getting some popping noises. So if you guys could let me know if the sound is good, if it's coming through well, the quality, I would appreciate it. But taking a look at the crypto space here, so we are in 15-minute uptrends. We have a low, high, higher low, and higher high here on Bitcoin, meaning that we're in a 15-minute uptrend. So if we zoom out to the hourly, it means the hourly bounce is underway. And now when we top out on this hourly bounce, we're going to look for an hourly higher low and then an hourly higher high for an hourly uptrend to confirm. Then we zoom out to the 4-hour. We got a lot of work to do. Then we got to get the 4-hour bounce underway. Then we got to confirm a 4-hour uptrend. Then we got to zoom out to the daily time frame. But the good thing about the daily time frame is we are set up for a potential daily trend change. You can see here we have our higher low forming. We just need to see that follow through with a higher high. So at the moment, how do we know that SPY was potentially at risk yesterday? What did I say yesterday in yesterday's stream? I said that likely we're going to see daily consolidation on SPY tomorrow or the next day. That's what I said yesterday. Today we had inside bar bear break. So as soon as we lost support at 402.58, that's what I said yesterday. If the low of today doesn't hold tomorrow, daily consolidation will be underway, and then we have no support all the way down to 385. But that is the line in the sand level right now, which we are holding, and we're just going to look for a daily higher low. I told everybody to be skeptical because we were still in a daily downtrend. You can see here we have this lower high and lower low pattern, and anything under 429.66 was just a daily lower high. So that's exactly what happened. We topped out at EMA 12. It was a daily lower high. We need to be skeptical because we were still in a daily downtrend. Now bulls have some hope left, and that hope is to form a higher low and change this daily trend. So if we hold 385.15 support and then we form a higher low, we'll know that the higher low is set by changing the hourly trend. So once we confirm an hourly uptrend, our daily higher low is set. Then we look for the daily bounce to get underway, and then it's all about resistance there at the high of the bounce at 408.57. If we break 408.57 after holding 385.15, that's going to confirm a daily uptrend. Then we zoom out to the weekly, and we watch for the weekly bounce to continue, and then we watch for a weekly uptrend. Right? Bulls got a lot of proving to do. Bears are in full control. We're in a monthly, weekly, daily downtrend. We're on downtrends on pretty much every time frame, except for some of the shorter time frames here. Actually, no, on SPY, I was thinking of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a 15-minute uptrend. SPY is pretty much bearish on every single time frame. That's not what you want to see as bulls. So if you're looking at taking a long-term position, well, generally you don't want to see every single time frame be in a downtrend, right? If you're looking to take a long-term position, you want every single time frame to be in an uptrend, right? So right now the play is short, right? Or just sitting in cash, or just dollar cost averaging, whatever you need to do. I do think we're going to see one more final push. I'm quite positive, like 90% sure, they're going to pass a Bitcoin spot ETF in the US. We know that Grayscale just got approved for its first one in the EU, and Grayscale is currently going through the process of trying to convert its Grayscale Trust into an ETF in the US. I think it has the highest chance out of any other application thus far, and if that does happen, that's going to open the floodgates. And what I could potentially expect is they're going to use this as a way to pawn it off on retail. Okay, so what do we know about Amazon? Amazon's going to be going through a 20-for-1 stock split, okay? And that's due to occur on June 6th. What do we know about Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, so GBTC? They are scheduled for an approval or a denial on the spot Bitcoin ETF conversion from the trust into an ETF some point in June, July. Okay, so just imagine how all of this is lining up. Okay, Amazon's going to do a 20-for-1 stock split in June 6th. What do we know about SPY? Well, if we take the .com fractal and we overlay it to this fractal, it says we could top out around June or July. And then we start to see some real big selling pressure into July and August. So where am I going with this? If you haven't pieced it together already, if they're going to do a 20-for-1 stock split on Amazon, which they did, let's zoom way back out. And let's go back into the time machine, teleport back to 2000 era. So Amazon in the 2000 .com bubble era. Look where we had a stock split. We had 2 stock splits at the top of the bubble. Actually 3. There was a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, and a 2-for-1. And that is exponential, right? Because once you do multiple splits together, that's an exponential effect, right? So they did 3 stock splits. I thought it was only 1 and 2. It was actually 1, 2, 3. And they did that a couple months leading before into the peak, and then they did it right at the peak, and then we did another double top essentially, and that's where we got our rejection. They did a third one right at the peak, and then we dropped 95% on Amazon. Actually, that wasn't the absolute low there. It was 95%. Why do I bring this up? Because they pawned it off on retail. Now, imagine, it was only, it was barely worth any money back then, but today it's worth 2142, right? So if it's worth 2,142, then how many people are realistically going to be able to buy Amazon? So if they did that, if they did 3 stock splits to Amazon in 2000 before the bubble burst, and they're going to do another stock split on Amazon here, 20-for-1 this time, which is massive, and that's going to be in June next month, does that mean we're going to get a lower high next month? We're in a monthly downtrend here on Amazon. So does that mean we're going to get a lower high on Amazon next month? And then we see these EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, and then we enter a complete free fall? I don't think we're going to drop 95% like we did back in the day. But you got to think, if they're doing a 20-for-1, 2142 divided by 20 is $107 Amazon stock price. How many people, like you and I, retail investors, are going to be tempted to buy Amazon when it's $100? Not very many people would be able to afford it right now, right? So if you zoom out and think, well, if they do a lower high here and then they, we bounce up to around the $3,000 area into June, and then they do a reverse stock split, they're going to pawn it off on retail. Then we know Tesla's scheduling a potential 10-for-1. Again, they're going to pawn it off on retail right at the tippy top. And then GBTC potentially gets converted into an ETF. What I could see happening is I could see this getting approved. Bitcoin goes absolutely bananas. Everything's euphoric because it's in a stock market. People can buy Bitcoin spot ETF just like the SPY ETF, like the S&P 500, right? They're going to be able to do that inside their regular stock account. So that's going to create raging euphoria and bullishness in the market. Everybody's going to be raging bull. We're going to see Bitcoin go crazy. We're going to see Tesla go crazy. We're going to see Amazon go crazy into the split. We're going to see the S&P 500 go up because of the fact that this is going to be bullish for traditional stock accounts as well, and just the amount of euphoria in the markets. And then what I could see happening They run Bitcoin, and then once the spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved or not approved, we run. It's a buy the rumor, sell the news. So we start to see, spot Bitcoin ETF has the potential to get approved and converted from GBTC into Bitcoin. What happens? We form a lower high, potentially. Maybe we even go to we know that SPY hit its 4.618 fib extension. Maybe Bitcoin goes and does that too on a complete blow off top. We know we haven't gotten a blow off top yet in our fifth wave in this structure. If you know anything about Elliott waves, we could potentially see that final impulse wave and potentially test that 4.618, which would bring us up to around that $78,000 to $80,000 area. I could see $80,000 to $100,000 possible if they approve the spot Bitcoin ETF. If they don't, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that the top is set. And that we're likely going to see a lower high on Bitcoin, potentially see altcoins run into the fall. But if we get the spot Bitcoin ETF approved in the next couple of months, I think Bitcoin's going to potentially hit a new all-time high here in the next couple of months. Again, we don't have a crystal ball. Anybody who tells you they know where the price is going or what's going to happen from here is just completely pulling it out of the you-know-what. But there's two scenarios that I'm looking for. Either spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved this cycle, or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, top is in. We're probably not going to break 69,000, and we're likely going to see the Bitcoin spot ETF approved in the next cycle. If it does get approved in the next couple of months, I think Bitcoin could potentially hit a new all-time high around 80 to 100K, and then we get the rollover into July and June. And then what we see is, let's say they announce let's say they, over the next month or so, they say, Grayscale's gaining traction on their conversion into a spot Bitcoin ETF. We run up, it's buy the rumor. Then once we get the news, we see that blow off top, and then leading into the actual date where the ETF starts trading, that's where the top is set. Because once the floodgates open up, once mom and pop and a lot of people, retail investors, don't want to buy Bitcoin because they don't want to, they don't want to do their own custody. They don't want to go through the headache of dealing with crypto. They're confused. It's not that easy for somebody who doesn't understand crypto, right? You have to learn how to use a wallet, all this stuff. So if people can just buy it in their regular stock account, that's the perfect scapegoat, right? The exit plan and blow off top moment where we get everybody and their dog, mom and pop, to come in, the retail investors, as soon as it goes live. That's where they crater it. Maybe they run it a little bit one day, they get people euphoric, people buy the top, and then they crash it. And that's where we start to see that 85% to 90% correction. And like I said, if we go to 80 to 90,000, maybe let's just say high end 100,000, if we pull back 80% from there, that would bring us down to around 10K. And that's what I've been calling for a very long time, is a pullback to around that 10K area. And we also have the previous all-time high there at 20K. So I think ultimately we could pull back to 20K, we'll form a lower high, and then resume back to around 10K, maybe a flush thereof. But I'm pretty confident in this thesis at the moment that we're going to see a spot Bitcoin ETF, GBTC, Grayscale, convert into a trust, into a spot Bitcoin ETF, and then that's going to be what they use to bring everybody in to buy the top. Lines up perfectly with an Amazon 20-for-1 on June 6th. We know Tesla's contemplating doing a 10-for-1 as well, which I think will likely happen. And we know that if we overlay the .com bust fractal, it says here that we could see another couple bullish months and then really start to see sell-off pick up into July and August. I'm very confident in this thesis. And like I said, once Bitcoin blow off top is in, that's likely when we're going to see altcoin after that. So hopefully that helps. And I see we have quite a few people joining. I still haven't heard any reply. If you guys can let me know, I got a new filter for my mic. I had some complaints that it was kind of doing a poppy noise. If you can let me know if the sound is better or worse, or if it's coming through clearly, if you can hear me fine, if everything's hunky-dory, I would appreciate it. But let's take a look at the rest of the sector here. So 15-minute uptrend, like I said, on Bitcoin and the crypto sector. We're going to want to see if we can close this week with some bullish momentum. I also gave the clue yesterday. What was our clue that we were going to see daily consolidation today? The clue was Bitcoin started daily consolidation here with the low, high, higher, low. We're technically in a daily uptrend though, with the low, high, higher, low, but we didn't see much of a higher low there, right? Not enough to be convinced, right? We only dropped by 28,662, not even $100. So I wouldn't consider that enough of a higher low. So we need to be skeptical. But now here we are pulling back about 2.5%. So this is our higher low that we were looking for. So the fact that Bitcoin started daily consolidation, what has been leading the market, right? We know that Bitcoin's been leading the market ever since March 2020, followed by Tesla and tech stocks. And then because Tesla is such a heavyweight in SPY, then SPY follows, right? So again, if we're set, we knew that we were starting daily consolidation, and then if we zoomed into daily consolidation or the daily time frame on SPY, we knew that we didn't have any daily consolidation for 3 days in a row. So we knew that we were due. Bitcoin gave us the early clue, and here we are, starting daily consolidation, just looking for a higher low compared to that 385, right? So that was our clue. And I said yesterday as well that Bitcoin was a weekly inside bar and that we were likely not going to see it break this week because of the range. We had about a 25% range there on the candle. Or sorry, 35%. So again, when we have a big range like that, we know that we're likely not going to bounce right away, right? Because of how much we'd have to, from the low there, we'd have to bounce over 35% to start the weekly bounce. So the most likely scenario I said last week was that we see a weekly inside bar. That's exactly what we have. And then more than likely a break into the following week. So into the week of May 23rd. So, and that's all lining up perfectly so far. We've got 4 days left. Anything can happen. But so far it's looking like we could potentially just range and tighten up. And then next week we get our bounce, in my opinion, coming off weekly oversold. But again, SPY was a weekly inside bar. It started to break bullish, but again, we knew to be skeptical because we didn't change the daily trend. We were still in a daily downtrend, and we hadn't changed our daily trend with a higher low and higher high, and that's why we were skeptical, because Bitcoin gave us an early clue, and here we are, starting daily consolidation, and from the high yesterday down about 4.5% on average. In terms of our individual tickers on the bear list, we got VEGA, Cost, and Coin. Coin starting daily consolidation today. Pretty much all names just following the broader market, right? All of our asset classes, tech, you name it, right? Crypto, MJ, everything's very correlated at the moment. Why? Because we have extreme fear in the markets. When there's extreme fear, everything correlates because they don't want risk on appetite, right? All of these things are perceived as risky. So once there's high risk and you know, these moments of extreme fear, we start to see everything start to correlate. Not exactly the same on the way up. It can to a certain degree, but fear is way more powerful than greed, right? So that's why we start to see things correlate more on the downside than versus when things are raging bull. BLU, EH, and WNRS leading the bull list today. Tesla, again, daily consolidation, just looking for a higher low there compared to 680. If we hold that support and we break 787.35 from here, daily uptrend confirmed. Still in a daily downtrend at the moment. Gardy Love, hi Rod, sounds great. Thesis makes sense. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Great. All right. Well, if everything's clear as mud, just kidding. If everything's, you know, I know there's a lot of moving parts. Again, any of this stuff can change on a dime. So this is just a thesis. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm paying attention to until I'm not, right? So until I see anything else to disprove my thesis, this is what I'm going to be looking for. Again, this is what I've been expecting for a long time now. It's just the lengthening cycles. There's these theories of lengthening cycles and things taking longer to play out just because there's more institutions involved and more money in the space, right? And as we know, when majority of people are thinking a certain way, it's usually the opposite, right? So when everybody thinks we're going to confirm a bear market here, well, I'm starting to think this is a pretty big bull trap. I want to see us close this monthly candle over EMA 26, that white line there at 397.84. If we do in the next 13 days, if we close over that level, I think it's going to be a massive bear trap. And just trying to convince everybody and their dog that we're in a bear market now. Yep, we confirmed the monthly downtrend first time since 2008. We lost key support there at 410. Bitcoin lost support at 28K. We're in a bear market. And then now is when we get the bounce, right? When everybody is expecting more downside, right? So you just got to kind of play the contrarian view, right? When everybody is on a certain side of the fence, that's when I start to get skeptical and a little concerned and start to look the other way, right? All right. Let's take a look at cannabis sector. On the bear list, on the Canadian side, we got VLNS, Hexo, and High Tide. So Hexo, again, just we knew we were due. It looks like SPY. Look at how similar these charts are. 1, 2, 3, 4 days of a higher low every candle. 1, 2, 3, 4 every day with a higher low every candle. We didn't change the daily trend. We were still in a daily downtrend. Anything under 429.66 was a lower high. Anything under 43 cents was a lower high. Again, we knew our daily consolidation was due. And here we are, starting daily consolidation. I've seen people saying, what's the news on Hexo today? We're down over 10%. The news is SPY, right? Look at the charts. They're identical. It has nothing to do with Hexo. Hexo is actually getting out of daily oversold territory here. So that's a positive sign to see. But everything's correlated. VLNS, though, I mentioned yesterday, be careful on this one because we had such a huge range. It was likely going to be a daily inside bar. And from here, we still haven't even started daily consolidation. Daily consolidation just means we lose the low of the previous day and that we're breaking down to new lower lows, right? So Hexo is an example. The low of yesterday was 31 cents. So the second we lost 31 cents, daily consolidation was underway. It just means we're pulling back, right? We can still pull back, right? The high of the day was 34 and we pulled back to 31, but that wasn't daily consolidation because we didn't lose the low of the previous day. So pulling back is a very broad term, but daily consolidation just means we're losing the low of the previous day. And then it's the same on any time frame. Weekly consolidation just means we're losing the low of the previous week, right? So we've been consolidating here on Hexo for the last 7 weeks, right? Going on 8 weeks. Every week with a lower low. That's called weekly consolidation. So now, when we break to a higher high on the daily time frame, when we break the high of the previous day, that means we're bouncing on the daily. That's all that means. And now that we broke the low of yesterday, daily consolidation underway, just like SPY, looking for a higher low. And then if we form a higher low compared to that new all-time low at 24 cents, and then we break resistance here at 34 cents, we're going to confirm a daily uptrend. So bulls not completely out of hope right now because we can change the trend and confirm a daily uptrend with a break of 34 cents from here. So we know that in order to be confident, we need to see uptrends, right? And this is why we expect daily consolidation because it's not always bad, right? The fact that we're starting daily consolidation sucks, right? Price is going down, but this gives bulls an opportunity to change that daily trend. And then, like I said, VLNS, from the low of the day, we could still drop another 8.5% before daily consolidation. So best case scenario for bulls is that we hold this daily inside bar today, and then tomorrow we see daily consolidation. And then we pull back maybe just under $1 to that 95-cent area, and then we attempt a daily trend change, right? Because today, we're not going to get daily consolidation more than likely with 8 minutes left in the day, and we would have to drop another 8.5%. Anything can happen. I highly doubt it. But what's likely going to happen is we're likely going to have a double inside bar here tomorrow, and then it'll be about 99 cents. We lose 99 cents tomorrow, daily consolidation underway, and then we'll have about, let's just take a look at how much we would have. From the low there, we'd have another 15% to work with, breathing room to form that higher low, right? So I know Rashid, you're probably on the stream at the moment. Great call on getting out of VLNS. That's why I said be skeptical, right? But huge move, after a 45% move there in a couple of days that we're likely due for a pullback. And yeah, you had the right idea. I think anything under $1 is a great idea to get into. But like I said, we could see daily consolidation into tomorrow. Just be wary of that. On the bull list, we have Fire and Flower and XTRX. Love sitting flat. Love is really sideways. Another great name to be averaging into, in my opinion. But I don't know if this thing's going to lose 10 cents, to be honest. 10.5 cents as low as we got. And if we can't break 10 cents now, I think the bottom's likely in. NBEV, GRWG, BAM leading the decline today. So what's the pattern here? All the names that ran like crazy over the last few days are down the most, right? And again, people just don't understand this. They're like, what's the news? Why are we down 10%, 15%? Well, when SPY's down 4%, you can usually multiply that by 3 for an individual stock, right? If an ETF is down 4%, which is less risky than one stock, well, an individual stock, by rule of thumb, is down about 3%. So if we're down 420 in MJ, we can expect to be down about 12%. And then look over here. Oh, look, NBEV down 14%. How much are we down on the Canadian side? Oh, 13, 12%. Just makes sense, doesn't it, right? So again, the more you understand markets and just experience, right, you'll know that when something like NBEV jumps from the low there, 78%, well, you shouldn't be surprised by a 14% pullback, right? Especially when SPY's down 4%. On the bull list, BEV, which is Bev Canna Enterprises. Forgot the name of that one was. This one's BioHarvest. And TAUG, holding up the best. In terms of MSOS, daily consolidation underway. Looking for a higher low here compared to 1321. Anything above 1321 is a higher low. And then we'll look to hold that break resistance rather at 1456 to confirm a daily uptrend. All right, let's get into some tickers. Sound is good. Perfect. Thanks, Everett. I really appreciate it. All right. Moving into some ticker requests. FBI. Fortuna Silver Mine. So it looks like a silver miner. Monthly downtrend. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Very bearish on the monthly time frame. We know silver's been a lot weaker compared to gold as well. And very evident here in the miners as well. On the weekly time frame, it's a weekly inside bar. We almost got the weekly bounce underway, but we double topped at 416, the high of last week. So it's all about 416 resistance from here. If we get over 416 resistance, we have really no resistance up until about 576. All right. So from the low there, you're looking at we could bounce 67% and still just be in a weekly downtrend. Just looking for a weekly lower high. So the most likely scenario is we see a tightening range more than likely, but at the moment it's even possible that we see a bear flag. Anything under 434 is a bear flag. So bulls need to get over 434 to negate it. Realistically, I'd like to see them get over 440 to negate the weekly bear flag. And if we see a weekly bear flag confirm, you just take your Fibonacci, you take from the high to low, and then you go to the 0.32 fib, and you do the measured moves. So that would bring us down to about 275. So if we do confirm the weekly bear flag, in order to confirm, we need to stay below 434, I'll say 440, and then we need to reject at 440, and then lose support. If we lose support at 348, weekly bear flag confirmed, and we're likely heading down to that 275 area. So I'd be careful on this one. We do have some hidden bullish RSI divergence, though. You can see the price is trending lower highs and lower lows, and the RSI is trending higher lows and higher highs. So we have this hidden RSI bullish divergence here on the weekly time frame. Is it on our monthly as well? No. No, it is not. And we're nowhere near monthly oversold as well. So anything's possible. I would be, if you're looking for entries on this, again, if you let me know if you're looking for entries or exits or taking profits, or you're completely on the sidelines and you're looking for entries, I can give you my unbiased opinion if you just give me the ticker in the exchange. But if you want to give me a little bit more insight onto what you're looking to do, I can kind of tailor the response a little bit better. But if you're just looking for completely unbiased information, that's not a bad approach either. And I can tell you everything that I know, right? Because I don't hold the ticker, and yeah. It's nice to get a second pair of eyes on it. Daily downtrend as well, topping out at daily EMA 12 here. But we are, just like the rest of the sector, right? What does that look like? What does this chart look like? SPY. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting daily consolidation. It is a daily bull flag, though. It's a weekly bear flag, but a daily bull flag. Anything over 390 is a potential daily bull flag. And again, if we just take our measured move and we go from the high to the low, and then we put it at the 3-2 level, it'll take us up to around 469. So it's just following the broader market at the moment, but still in a daily downtrend. Anything under 472 is just a daily lower high. In terms of the weekly time frame, we're under the 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD are still extremely bearish. We do have a little bit of a curl going here on the stochastic, and quite often than not, usually the stochastic sees a bull cross first. So we'll continue to watch these macro indicators for some momentum shifting, but still a lot of work to do there on the weekly time frame. We also had a bear cross of the 50 weekly and the 100 and the 200 weekly moving average. That's called a death cross in the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, that's even worse, right? I call that like I don't know what you call that, an apocalypse cross, I guess. But yeah, that's not good, right? And we even had the kiss of death there. We bounced back up. We rejected at both, so that was a perfect time to exit with that bear cross and kiss of death, essentially, and rejected. So I would have exited there at close to $6 after seeing these bear crosses and then rejecting, and then I would have rebought it again if we closed a weekly candle over $6. And then if you would have exited there, that would have saved you, about almost 50% of downside. But if we do get the weekly bounce going, we do have that low, anything under 576, like I mentioned, is a weekly lower high, but we'll be watching for $5 psychological, and we also have 521 there, the 50 weekly moving average, to be watching out for. terms of the daily time frame, we had a daily death cross as well, right? And then we even came back and kissed a death that. We kissed the 50 and the 200. That, perfect signal to get out. That was at $9. We were raging bull. We had a golden cross here back in June of 2020. And from that golden cross, we went from about $5 to $6 all the way up to about $12. So you would have doubled your money. And then we had the death cross here at $9. So again, if you just exited on that death cross occurring, that would have saved you, 70 or 80% of downside, just doing quick math. So yeah, we had all the warning signs in the world that we were going to see this. And we also knew tech was starting to top out. We knew that we had death crosses on SPY, the QQQ, first time since March 2020. And here we are, $5, 5 o'clock right on the dot, 4 o'clock Eastern, after hours. Market is closed. Rashid, let me know if that helps. Went pretty into depth there with that. If you're looking for an entry, maybe you're waiting for SPY in the broader market to confirm a daily uptrend. But again, we could see a little bit more downside, again, just based on SPY. We could see a little bit more downside. Maybe form a higher low somewhere around that 375 area. If you're very aggressive, you could start to average in. Maybe you buy a little bit now, maybe you buy a little bit around 375, and maybe try to get some around that low at 350. Maybe we go down for a double bottom. Maybe scale in 3 orders. But again, I'd be very selective with some of these names, right? Especially with the uncertainty in the broader market. But I do think we're due for a bounce. Let's bring up SHOP as well, because I know SHOP is definitely due for a massive relief rally here. Still no weekly bounce though. We almost got it underway here, but it was a bull trap, and then here we are, weekly inside bar. So just like a lot of our names, watching weekly inside bars, we break 408.63, weekly bounce will be underway, and then I'd say we'd likely be heading up somewhere around that $500 to $700 area. But we know tech is just getting absolutely crushed. I've been saying for a while now, stay the heck away from tech, and yeah, we're starting to figure out why, right? But like I said, tech definitely due for a massive bounce. SPY holding monthly EMA 26 still. You can see here, ever since the low there at $35 all the way up to the high at 1200. This is factoring in post-split. We haven't lost EMA 26. We dipped down here in March 2020, touched it, raging bull. Then EMA 12 was support, riding it. And here we are losing it, but still holding EMA 26. So as long as we close this monthly candle over that white line, EMA 26 at 694.10, bulls are just fine in my opinion. And we have yet to confirm the monthly downtrend with the lower high and lower low. If we lose, well, actually we lost 700, we went to 680, but again, it could just be a massive bear trap. It's all about these monthly candles and the weekly candles at the moment. So first, we're looking at weekly inside bars across the space and across the broader market and a lot of our sectors, and then all about these monthly candle closes here. The next 13 days are going to be extremely important. But the summary and the overall takeaway here is that SPY held 385. We knew we were looking for a daily higher low because we were still in a daily downtrend. Now bulls have the opportunity to create a daily higher low and a higher high and get that momentum back in their favor. All right, going to end it there. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you guys in the chat room in a few minutes. Take care.